Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharaka Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And got this article here. It says the BIS, which is the Bank of International Enslavement, so the Bank of International Settlements. This is the central banks of the central banks. Announces cbdc tokenization projects for 2024. All right, so they're really at the head of pushing this forward for all the central banks around the world. Says the Bank of International Settlements 2024 program features 6 new projects exploring the issues of cybersecurity, fighting financial crime, CBDCs, and green finance. Okay, which the use of a CBDC on a carbon neutral blockchain plays into the net zero agenda. Now, I want to jump down to what it says down here. It says the BIS remains one of the leading global advocates for CBDCs and a fiery critic of stablecoins in 2023. Right, a stablecoin is basically a tokenized version of the cash system. All right, so something like USD coin, which is a stable coin, or what's Tether. All right. It says in November 2023, Augustin Carstens, general manager of the BIS, urged central banks worldwide to lead digital innovation and called CBDCs the central element of this leadership. All right, so we already know where this is gonna go, and see this the CBDC is the financial component of the MOTB. All right, it's programmable money. All right, on the ledger. All right, which is interoperable with other digital systems. All right, so we're close to that time. 1 second. Remember when we looked it up last year, they had a big publication that they did, and they spoke about how CBDCs must be built up on top of digital IDs. All right, so all this is going to come together. It says the Bank of International Settlements has set out its recommended approach to fundamental elements of a central bank digital currency CBDC design, stating a preference for account-based systems built on digital ID. So digital ID and CBDC, all those systems are going to be together. All right, your digital ID, your CBDC, and then that's all going to be put and connected in with your chip. So we're close, like we're so close to this technology becoming ubiquitous and becoming mandatory. It's not funny. All right. When you see the BIS is pushing it, then you know this is an inevitability, because these are the people that basically, what does the scripture say? Is in the power of their hand. It says, woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. It's in the power of Esau's hand. See, you could invent a technology, right? And Esau has the power to not only defund that technology, but also to stop the adoption of that technology through various means, in terms of think tanks, in terms of the actual people that run the companies rejecting your idea, in terms of passing laws to come up against your technology. You understand? They control all of the conduits of power within society. But so if they want a technology to come to the forefront, they can do that, because they control all of the major corporations. They control the non-government organizations. They control the politicians, right? They control the research and development community. So this blockchain CBDC thing is inevitable, because they are the ones that controlling how and where it gets implemented. When you see something like the BIS pushing out a technology to be used in the financial system. It will be used in the financial system. It's a guarantee. We're talking about the central bank of central banks. There's no one more legitimate in the sphere of banking than the Bank of International Settlements. They're at the top. And the agenda goes from the top down. Do you understand? They're the ones advising all of these central banks. And like I said, it's only going to take something like the Bank of England to adopt it, and then the floodgates will open. And all these central banks are already on their way. Right? And it's easy for these banks to adopt it because they're private sector companies who already have basically a system that they can all plug into to set this up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So this thing is here and ready to be done. All right. So 2024, you're gonna see more and more CBDCs coming to the forefront, and you're gonna see more and more crisis, which is gonna drive them to bring about these CBDCs. You're gonna see more crisis because that's how they operate. Problem, reaction, solution. This is Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, which is the financial system, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right, so this is a release, from the Bank of England this year in response to the digital pound consultation, which digital pound would be a CBDC. It says the Bank of England and HM Treasury update on proposals for digital pound, which would include primary legislation to guarantee users privacy and controls. Now you got to understand, what does privacy even mean? Well, what it's ultimately going to mean is they're not really going to be looking at your data. The AIs are going to be looking at your data and instituting decisions based upon that. So you're gonna have privacy. That doesn't mean that it's good, because the AI is gonna be using the algorithm to decide what you can and can't buy and whether you've made any infringements. It says response confirms that neither the bank nor the government would have access to users' personal data, but the AI will. Authorities committed to maintaining access to cash for those who prefer it. Right? They'll maintain access to cash for a while, right? But guess what? It's going to become difficult to use the cash. It'll be more convenient to use what? The CBDC, because what eventually is going to happen is they're going to launch the CBDC to run alongside cash, but the fiat system is going to implode. And once the fiat system's imploded, the CBDCs will be left. It says continuing work on digital currency will strengthen the UK's position as a competitive global leader in finance. See, they want to be at the head of this thing. And that's why I believe the first central bank to really push this thing out, to launch it, like major central bank, because there are central banks that have launched it, but they're small. The first major central bank that's going to launch a CBDC is going to be the Bank of England. That's my belief. I'm not saying that's prophecy. I'm saying that's my belief. They're going to be the first to bring it online. All right. So we're in this time, man. So if that, I'm going to say shalom.